Good evening, listeners, one and all. Welcome to Kaleidoscope. My name is Rae Liu, and today I am joined by Kim Lithgow, South African award-winning LGBTQIA plus activist, chair of the Hate Crimes Working Group, and founder of Same Love Toti, a non-profit organization advocating for LGBTQIA plus rights in South Africa, and human rights international speaker. I'm super honored to have you here, Kim.
Thanks so much.
I'm also joined by my co-host, Luigi.
Hello again. We're back.
We're back. My name is Rae Liu. I am what happens when you are a teacher playing Shadowrun on Friday evenings and you discover a new hobby for painting tiny figurines, which is something I've watched my friends do and find myself being sucked into. Good evening.
Ruby, is Shadowrun a video game?
Shadowrun is a tabletop role-playing game.
Okay.
Let's
Now
get,
it makes sense. I feel like I don't have enough hobbies. I should get an interesting hobby like that.
don't worry, I'll keep you busy.
Yeah,
You bring me a figurine next time.
yeah. Well, I
folks.
think painting would be great, man. Yeah, maybe not so small though. My glasses wouldn't be able to cope, you know?
You can get the big band around your head with like the magnifying glass that you pull over.
Yeah, and the flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It makes you look more, what's the word? More knowledgeable about your subject. Your weird hobby of painting figurines. Like an expertise.
Okay. Could be.
Luigi, do you
Indeed.
have a way for us to do you have an introduction for us today?
Yes, my name is Luigi, and the rule of thumb for this episode is there is no rule of thumb, and neither is there for painting tiny little figurines. Do it however you want.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
And
This
my
one was
name's
done.
Kim. And sorry, go ahead, Ray. Show us your figurine.
I was just on the topic of no rules. This was painted with nail polish, not the proper paint at
There you
all.
There you go. At least it's going to last
cool.
longer than everybody else's.
I think so.
Yeah. And it has a certain gloss about it too that regular paint won't have.
Yeah,
Maybe I start a
clever.
new trend.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Kim?
So my name's Kim, and I'm a mother of two very grown boys. So they're men, and they're married with two kids, now three. So, yeah, I got three grandsons and very happy. Just had well, I didn't have it, thank God, but my daughter-in-law just had the third grandson. So we've had like first Christmases 3 years in a row. So my painting will be on a Christmas bauble. You, you know, first
Yeah,
Christmas, da 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 da. So that's going to be my painting exercise for the year, I think.
That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing. And I'm I know that you're already very busy. I've been trying to get a hold of you to speak to you for so long, and
I'm
to
so
now know
sorry.
to now know that you're also a grandmother of three just blows my mind. You are a superwoman.
Yeah, I think all mothers are though, at least to their kids.
For sure. So on Kaleidoscope, we like to start off just to warm things up a little bit with a quick question for the other two participants in the podcast to answer. I would like to open the floor to see if either of you have a question you would like to start with, and then we'll go kind of on the screen, just let's say counterclockwise today.
counterclock. What? Who does that put first? All of our screens have a different order.
Right now, the floor is open. Whoever wants to go first.
Wait, Kim,
What's
was that
yeah,
mug just a Santa Claus mug?
no, no. The
I'm just
rest
so
of
in the
my
Christmas
house will
spirit.
be though. Very soon, we're gonna start, especially for the kiddies. We're gonna start decorating our house until it looks like a shopping mall has
Yeah.
exploded.
There shouldn't be, yeah. There,
My
no
mother
way.
comes in and she goes, "It's too much, it's too much." I'm like, well,
Never.
I don't think so. Can't have too
Yeah.
much
I would,
glitter, too much Santa, too much presents. But yeah, my family have different views. Like my son, he says to me, "Mum, you can't now buy the kids like loads and loads of presents." And I'm
right.
thinking, oh my gosh, first plan is dashed. So I said to him, okay, no problem. I went out and I bought a keyboard and brought it back, give it to the kid. And I said, okay, this is not a Christmas present. I'm buying him an everyday present. So that way I can still buy my presents for the kids.
We're lucky to have you. That's good. Man,
Yeah.
I miss insane, like, holiday, Christmassy decoration, whatever. I'll tell you both. For the first time ever, I've been in China for 12 years. And I just yesterday, and this is why today I'm a little tired. I was up late. I put up a tree for the first time ever and decorated it. Yes, thank you. Took a lot, lot of
Very
courage.
good.
You'll see it, Ruby, next time you come over. I got a full-blown tree. But now I'm a little worried I've opened some kind of box because I want to get more decorations. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't want my apartment. I would love my apartment full of decorations, but also at the same time, I don't know, maybe
Not
it's too
really.
much. I need to finesse it. Yeah.
Not for me. I mean, I I love decorations. I hate
Yeah.
cleaning them up. And my contribution to Christmas this year will be Secret Santa gifts and teaching my kids the Charleston swing. Not by and by my kids, I mean my students. We're doing
Students.
Jingle Bell Rock, but with the Charleston swing song dance.
Very nice. I hope you're going to post a video of this.
Well, because of like child protection laws, I can share
Yeah.
it individually, yeah, but not online.
Well, it sounds very good. It sounds lots of fun. That's nice.
Yeah, if it's good enough, it will go through on the school's like public one, and then from there I will be able to share it.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, that's
No
lovely.
decorating though, Ruby? No
No
decorations in the home
decorating.
or Christmas?
No,
Really?
no,
All right. Well,
not for me.
no judgment. Fair. Anyway.
Was that your quick fire question?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it could be. No, actually, I saw the mug and then I just thought Santa and Christmas. But now I'm curious, Kim, are you a purveyor of mugs like I am? I have many novelty mugs. I
Yes.
love mugs.
That's my other
Wonderful.
addiction.
Oh, there you go. Kindred
I've
spirits.
now been banned. My family have told me, that's it, Ma. No more coffee mugs.
Really? Do you have
Yeah.
like a favorite? This is
Me?
my favorite. I have it all the time.
Oh,
The answer's in your hat.
nice.
I'm going with this gimmick,
That's
but yeah,
lovely.
it is my favorite.
Yeah.
So do
No,
you have a favorite?
I don't. I don't. I just buy sort of I guess it's gimmicky. So maybe
Yeah.
Ray, you can look down on me.
Not at all. Look what I have. That's gimmicky. That's the
What?
most gimmicky thing anybody can buy. Their own name.
I can't see it. Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Next
I
you'll
have
have
a
a statue.
decoration in my house that is my own name. It doesn't get more gimmicky than that.
Okay, okay. No, no. My family get mugs. Like if it's Easter, they get Easter mugs, and if it's Christmas, they'll get Christmas. And of course, mom and dad have to get like the best mom or
That's
best
great.
dad.
Yeah.
So everybody gets their own sort of special ones. My one son, he's a Marvel addict. So anything superhero on a mug
Yeah.
goes to him.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
everybody's now mugged out. So yeah.
Aw,
So
keep
now
going.
we'll have to think of something different.
I do love a
I say
good
keep
mug.
going with it.
I love buying mug sets, pairs that are interesting.
Oh,
Like I have this set from Starbucks that has like dopamine and caffeine and serotonin on it. and one's black and one's white. Otherwise, they're the same mug. But I've been banned from buying mugs. I'm not allowed to. Now we only have 4
Ruby,
mugs.
I never knew this about you.
Yeah, that's
You
why I
know
love your
my
unicorn mug.
Yeah, but why didn't you ever tell me you have a bunch of novelty mugs? Even when we worked together, I never saw you have mugs at your desk.
Yeah, performative minimalism.
You're saying I'm performing? Okay, on the topic of mugs real quick. I've started whenever I go home, I've started getting my mom mugs whenever I see them. So like I do a lot of thrifting. Obviously I'll go to bookstores and then there'll be a mug. But it has to be a really like what's the saccharine? Is that the word?
Sweet.
Overly sweet. Like it always I've been getting my mom every mug I see that's like best mom, number one mom, to a point where it just annoys
Gosh.
her.
Okay, that's
So
Yeah.
sweet, but also very
that's
cringy.
that's the new thing. It is. It's great. I'm doing it. It's been great.
Yeah, well, my
It's a great.
mom's favorite mug is the one I got her for her 70th. You
Yeah.
know, it's got a lovely lady on it, and 70 is fabulous or something. And yeah, so that's her favorite mug. So I'm glad. Shame they said, because they're busy moving to a retirement village now, and they said to me that I'm the only one who buys them all of these like sentimental things. So
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad I'm a soppy thing like that.
Yeah. I think it's good too. I'll keep buying my mom
Yeah,
those mugs, even if she gets annoyed. She
yeah,
can throw them out. I'll
they
just buy more.
yeah.
The other thing that I collect that is kind of strange is odd dictionaries, like normal dictionaries that are very different.
Not words.
In what way?
No, they are words. For example, there's this really old bookshop in England called Foyle's Bookstore, I think. It's this guy, Christopher Foyle, who is a logophile, a lover of words, and he has been going through the English language for many years in his bookstore, and he curated 2 of the books called Foyle's Philavery. Philavery is a collection of strange and wonderful words
Huh.
Okay.
into these 2 books, and they're just like the most rarely used books in the English language. They are gorgeous. And then I have the big book of Talking Dirty, which is a collection of historical slurs.
I'm into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
We
So
won't
tell
mention
us
it on the
something
podcast.
interesting then in words. What's your interesting words
It's
for
the
the
most
day?
interesting slur you know, Ruby.
I don't remember any of them now. I'm drawing a total blank.
Well, well, well.
Next
How
time on
about
the pod.
this? For an old word, for lesbian was companion. So if two
Companion.
ladies
Fair
lived
enough.
together, nobody
Yeah.
said that they were, those
Right.
terrible words. It was,
Yeah.
this is my
Yeah.
companion. And everybody would be like, their eyes would be, oh, she has a companion.
Right.
Is this before or after the star tattoos?
Oh, Lord, no, I'm sure it was way before the star tattoos.
Way
I'm sure
before.
it's somewhere around like the 20s or something that
What do
I'm
you two
talking.
mean when you say that? The star
Sorry?
tattoos. What do you guys mean when you say the star tattoos?
Kim, I'll
Is
let
there an
you take
inside
this
joke I don't
because
know about?
no, it's not a joke.
Off you go, Ray.
Okay, I might be wrong on the history here. I'm not a yeah. Um, the star tattoos come from American culture, bar culture, and lesbian women would tattoo a little star on the inside of their wrist that was easy to cover, and it would mark them out. And this, I think it's also etymologically where maybe gold star lesbians come from. And a gold star lesbian is someone who has never had relations with a man.
Know that.
Um,
Wow.
Learning something new every day. I
I'm
did
curious.
not know that. Well
I'm
done.
curious if that's yeah. I'm curious if that's real fact or just like folklore.
no,
Lesbian
it's real.
folklore.
Gold star lesbians are a thing. It's
They
a
are a
point of
thing.
pride. But I do think that kind of leans into potentially like it's a subcategory of purity culture in a way.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. Personally, not totally into it, but to each their own. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
sounds
had
like
thought it would be.
carry on, Kim. You go first.
No, I was just speculating. I had thought maybe it was something to do with like the Holocaust, you know, because of the Star of David and how like the Jews and the gays were all like executed together. So I thought maybe that's why
That's
the
the
star
pink
was
triangle, yeah?
a thing. Yeah. And the pink
Oh,
triangle. Yeah.
Yeah. Not no, this is I think this is just a 5-pointed star. It's not the Star of
Okay.
David. I might be wrong. I'm not a lesbian. I'm a bisexual person.
Okay.
Now I'm blushing. It
we
sounds
do.
like we're about to touch on the meatier stuff of this podcast. So I'll ask my quick fire question quickly, and then we can share I'll take us away with the first perspective. My question is,
I'm ready.
what is a hobby that you always wanted to try but never did?
Small figurine making.
You never wanted to try that. I introduced you to it today.
No, let me tell you real quick. Actually, when I was young, I had a whole bunch of toys, like figurines, as most, kids do, just garbage, because I had a big family, I had a lot of sisters, so there was a lot of junk. And there was a time when I got the idea from seeing some other artist, I guess, of dissecting the figurines and mismatching them and like putting them all together in different ways. So like taking a troll doll's head and putting it on the body of like a velociraptor. So I made all this weird art and it really freaked my mom out. And I had a lot and she all threw them all away because she thought something, well, I mean, she was concerned. I guess it had serial killer vibes, but that wasn't the case. So,
Ever watch Toy
she was
Story?
just being a
Because you're
good mother.
giving
Yeah. Oh,
antagonist
yeah. It's like the
vibes.
kid on Toy Story. Yeah, you're right. But it wasn't that weird. I think if you saw them, they had more artistic merit. They're really creative. I really thought about them. I
Like
wasn't just like,
Potato Man. The Potato
like
Man.
Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well,
He
they were
introduced.
small,
Okay.
but okay. So yeah, I did dabble in figurines when I was a child. I gotta say.
Well, you sound exactly like my brother. He was younger than me, so he literally broke everything. So yeah, your exploits are very sort of nostalgic for me, I guess. Yeah. And for me, my thing is playing the violin. I
uh,
love the violin. And
yeah.
I don't think it's in many songs today. But, yeah, because I'm not I am talking, I guess, about the operatic kind of violin, but then you also get the really jazzy kind of violin that was in songs like Shania Twain. Had a lot of violins jumping around in the back, but, jazzy kind of fun violins.
I'm trying to think of the song now because it was a formative song for me from Shania Twain,
I know exactly the one you're talking about with the violin. I do know.
where they're
I
playing
know that
violins. I think
exactly.
in the rain. It's like multiple.
Yeah, something like that. So I've always been really impressed with people who can play violin, and I've always thought, well, one day I,
When
I
I think,
possibly will
yeah,
do that, but right now we're super busy, so that's not going to happen.
when I think of the
Instead,
violin, I think of one
instead
song.
I play keyboard and guitar. It's enough for me.
Very cool. Luigi, what do you think of? What were you saying when you think of violins?
When I think of the violin, there's one song. I think it's the violin. It's obviously it's classical music, and it's like I think it's called like the Dance of Death or something like that. Not literally English, the Dance of Death. It has some other kind of weird name.
Is it that one where it's the devil, the dancing, the dueling with the devil or something, and
Maybe
then it's
that's
got a
it.
fiddle that
Yes.
yeah, it's like yeah, like a country song. You know that one?
It's the dance macabre. That's the song. That's the song I think of. I don't know
Okay,
if there's violins in it, but
okay,
it's got like a fiddle. That's what I think of when I think of violins. Anyway, okay,
yeah.
that's a good answer. Yeah,
I
something you
don't
wish
know
you
that.
learned.
I don't. Yeah,
Really? I think once you hear it, you'll go, ah, yes, I know what song he's talking
yeah.
about. But then you'll
Well,
say,
Right.
that
"But there are
is
no violins." We'll send it to you after. You will see.
okay.
Yeah, I also play guitar and keyboard. I guess it's an electric piano, but not so much anymore. I got busy. I used to watch TV too, and now it's always just online posting videos and looking for people to talk to. And I love it way more. I find this extremely
Yeah.
fulfilling. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that kind of brings me to my perspective today is I want to talk about the challenges in life because that's so broad. There are things that I've always wanted to do and am doing now, but they're not easy. Don't want to I've said before that I accidentally became a teacher. Being a teacher kind of happened to me through the course of my life, and for a long time I just kind of accepted that. Much in the same way that I accepted my assigned gender at birth. And in many ways, resilience came through from staying alive, staying subscribed to this thing that we call life and not electing to unsubscribe. But now also, all of those skills kind of help me to keep on doing this and not get tired and do crazy things like running two jobs. And now, just last night, I posted the first episode of a new second podcast.
What?
And yeah, I'm cheating on you, Luigi.
You didn't even tell me? Can't
It's
believe it.
called Freaky Friday with Ray and Bun. It's a drive along. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Jeez.
So, multiple social media accounts running all by myself. And I just think that basically what I'm trying to get to is the perspective. We often let life hold us back because we are afraid to do the things that are hard.
I feel like we talked about this.
We
This
have.
seems so familiar.
It's universal.
Yeah. I guess that's why. I agree 110%. It is certainly hard to I was talking about this with someone else today, actually. Are we really doing the things we really want to do? And if we think we're doing the things we really want to do, are those really our thoughts? Or is there that's the problem with ideology. It's the thing we think we know what we're doing, but really there are other factors really pushing us or influencing us, you know, like the tip of the iceberg and everything underneath. So, yeah. I mean, do you mind doing what I want to do? I would say by default, yes. But like you, Ruby, I didn't exactly set out to do this. I did when I was young, I wanted to teach in a university setting. And then it transformed into me teaching in an international school, K to 12 setting. So a lot of that was just because of where I was and obviously other factors like making a good wage. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I had something even more important to say, but I'll leave the floor open to you two. And then when it comes back in my head, I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah, look, I think you're right, though, Luigi. It is a case of like, you know what, a lot of times we're pushed into either through circumstance or through expectations of other people. We're pushed into a certain way, and sometimes if it fits for us, we don't mind going along.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think yeah. Yeah, we all make decisions though for ourselves. And I think for myself at least, it's been a case of yes, I spent a lot of time people pleasing, even without
Yeah.
realizing it. But definitely, I mean, you want approval from your parents, you want approval from your peers. You know what? I mean, I think that as well, that's a universal thing. So yeah, it's I think the if you're finding yourself in a place where, you're not sort of happy or what have you, I think you need to then do soul searching and find out why exactly, because then you'll know, and perhaps you'll know more of your own self, when you do a bit of soul search and that. Yeah, then you'll know more of your own self of what what's going to make you happy and what's going to, fulfill you more than perhaps where you are.
Kim, you've done some like pretty incredible things in your life. My question is, do you think that now you're doing the things that you really want to do? Because for me, I feel a sense of responsibility, urgency, need to have this podcast, not only to speak to people, but to also normalize my existence to other people and not just for me, for others as well. So, am I doing the things that I really want to do? Yes, absolutely. I also feel a calling. My question is that the same for you?
Yes. So very definitely that's where I started out. So a little bit of history. So I was married to a guy for 17 years, had two sons with him, and then we divorced, and after the divorce, that's when I started dating women. Then when I met somebody who was really amazing, who I've now been with for 21 years. So yeah, so we committed,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I met this amazing woman and told my parents, and bear in mind by now I'm like, I don't know, 40 or something plus. And I'm telling my parents, and of course they're horrified, you know.
Really?
So they're like, but you were so normal. Why don't you just go back to being normal? And you know what? And so I struggled with that. Okay. And
Yeah.
because of the struggle that I had with that, I was like, no, come on. I'm an adult. What the hell am I doing wanting approval from my parents? And then I thought, well, Shane, what about these poor little teenagers? How they just don't know anything about life, anything about themselves, and like their parents are just like everything, and the struggles that they face. So between me and a couple of friends, we decided to then start something, and very much it was a case of, look, we know how we feel, and we can't imagine how a kid would feel, how much worse it would be for them. So, yeah, we wanted to be able to give them a safe space. And more importantly, we wanted to be able to speak with parents and just help parents go through that shock and that lack of information that they have, because as well, I'm like really aware that the World Health Organization only declassified being gay as a mental illness in 1990. Okay. So that's kind of really soon ago in our history.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyone born or brought up before 1990 was taught it's a mental illness. There's something wrong with you. There's something physically wrong. Kids are all born heterosexual and cisgender. They all
Yeah.
fit in the box of boys and girls. And
Right.
anything other than that is wrong. It needs to be fixed, or it's somebody's fault, definitely. So
Yeah.
taught that. And so really it's a case of, look, let's get more information out there and bring people along with extra information, and that certainly helps. I see you there, Ray, and I'm thinking, I know that information is not the only thing that gets rid of transphobia and, you know, biphobia and homophobia. It doesn't. Information isn't the pill, as it were. It's one stepping stone in helping people come to terms with it, if they're open to it.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And that's one of the things that I struggled with in thinking, because I had this kind of awakening. And I know that sounds to anybody not trans, that can sound very strange. Or anybody who hasn't gone through this realization that they aren't authentically themselves. And when I
Yeah.
did, I had a lot of information available to me because I'm quite adept at doing things online and existing as a person. Really, the first expression of my femininity was online in the form of an alter ego, or at least a pseudonym that I had. And that's true for many trans women. There's a good reason there are so many trans programmers.
Yeah.
What I
Sorry,
had
can
was information. Carry on.
I'm back. I'm so sorry about that. Go
No
ahead,
worries.
Ray.
The
2
editor for
podcasts ago,
this,
something happened that happened to me 2 podcasts ago, right, Ruby?
yeah, it did. Yeah, exactly.
Awkward.
With actually, you know her, Shay. We had Shay on here,
Yeah,
and Luigi had to leave for like 10 minutes.
just
I'm
outside my
Shay.
door, trying to
Yeah.
Shay.
fill in a form with a Chinese delivery man. It was fun.
My therapist, Luigi, and guest and friend of Kaleidoscope is the person who introduced me to Kim way back
There you
Yeah.
go. Perfect.
when I was desperately finding out about or getting information, which is exactly what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
And I'll cut my story a little bit short. I had information. What I wanted was there are also trans personalities online that are really great at giving information and providing kinship. What I wanted to do is show existence with cis people. And
Yeah.
I think all of it is needed. Everything is
Mm.
needed.
It is. It is very much so. And I think that also, you know what, it brings a depth. So what you're doing is different to what they're doing. And while it's important, it brings a depth when you see different people doing different things, you know, and then the public can kind of understand that being trans is not a sort of a single-celled thing. You know, all trans people are like this, all
Right,
trans
not
people do that.
one-dimensional.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like,
Yeah.
no, there's actual depth here. There's you know, different personalities, there's different skill sets, there's different everything. Just like with cisgender people, they're complex, they're multifaceted. Transgender people are exactly the same. And yeah, it also lends a lot into the work that I do as well, is in bringing those together, you know? Yeah.
How do you think a service like, or I guess platform, I'm not sure how to fully define Kaleidoscope as we continue to grow. How do you think something like us serves the community that we're in, and how do we link in and help people doing the like really hard groundwork, like what you're doing, creating laws? How do we help? How do we contribute to that?
Yeah, look, so for myself, becomes the work that I'm doing is very much activism on a sort of a, well, I'm not sure if your listeners will know exactly what I'm doing. So we started off as a nonprofit organization providing services to LGBT youth and to their parents. So basically, we were looking at the family unit and trying to keep that together. And then I got to a stage where I was like, you know what? I'm so tired of putting people together
Right.
after they've been hurt by homophobia, transphobia, all that. So how about we stop it from happening before
Right.
before it gets to hurt somebody? So that's how come then I went more into advocacy. And advocacy is where you actually, like, for example, I used to go to speak at schools. I still can. That would be one way, is to invite people to come and speak wherever you are, if you're at a school, if you're at work, you know, if you're having a woman's breakfast or something, you can always have somebody come and speak and share, you know. It's about getting the word out there, and it's also about offering whatever type of support you can, whether it be in kind or whether it be financial or whether it be other resources. But yeah, it would be about that. I started off working in schools. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm one person. I can go to one school and maybe 5, 10 near me, but if I go to the Department of Education, the National Department of Education, if I can tell them what to do, they can just do a blanket thing over the whole of South Africa and say, look, every school has to do this. And so that's how my sort of journey in advocacy started. Yeah, we've done that. We've gone to the Department of Education. And when I say we, I mean, I think it's important to note that advocacy is never a one-person thing. There's so many other people involved, whether it's lawyers or researchers or just lots of people involved. And yeah, so then you get to actually make changes where they count, where the power is to affect that change over far more people than you could ever hope to meet. So yeah, so that and yeah, obviously then it went a lot further than that.
Question. I just want clarification. So, Kim, you have
Yeah,
so when Ruby told me about you, she said you were an advocate and you're fighting against hate speech. Is that right?
correct. Yes.
Right. So it sounds like you do a lot of things. And at the beginning, when we first started, you introduced yourself, and what was the place called? Same Love. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong because I'm not South African. Toti.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your kind of like group or your, I don't know. Can I say company? What do you call it?
Yeah, so that's
Corporation.
our sort of non-profit organization.
There you go.
I
Okay.
founded that, yeah, and that is what does service provision per se. And then from that, we also got together an advocacy team to be able to do more work with people in power. So basically that comes to things like we've just had the G. Do you want me to go on and do the G20 because that's the most recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us all.
So the G20 is just when 20 different countries get together and basically the presidents have a chat and decide, okay, these are changes that we can make, policies that we can draw up, laws that we can make to make our countries better for the people who live there. And yeah, so essentially there's also a C20, which is civil society. So now we're a non-profit organization, and our non-profit organization has joined a coalition called the Hate Crimes Working Group. Now, the Hate Crimes Working Group is specifically advocated for hate crime legislation in South Africa. That as well, that's a whole new different story. But essentially, we got it passed in 2024,
Oh wow,
2023.
pretty recent.
23, yeah, 23, I think it was. And now we're focusing on implementation. And this is where now all of this other advocacy comes, because now the G20, it's G for governments, okay, government
Yep.
leadership and all that. C20 is for civil society. So the civil society gets together, and Brazil, you had the G20 last year. This year it was South Africa. Next year it's America. So this year we had the G20, and we got the policy pack from Brazil. So essentially it's all the things that they thought was great.
Yeah.
They give to us now, and we see if we can improve on it. Okay. And so we looked, and now in the C20, there's all of these different groups. There's a women's group, there's a disability group, a business group, a whatever group, and there's nothing for LGBT people. Not at all. So we're like, well, okay. But then, we went into the women's group and looked at their policy to see if we were included in there, and we were not. We looked in
Right.
the education policy. We were not included in there. We looked in all of the policies. There was not one mention of LGBT people anyway. And we were like offended, to put it mildly. So
Yeah.
we were quite annoyed. And so we decided, okay, fine. The C20, though, I'll give credit where credit due is due. They did realize that there was a gap. So they said,
Yeah.
no. We do want to meet with the LGBT community, and we do want to hear what they have to say. And so we're going to make the guy in charge as the Sherpa, and then he has a sous Sherpa, which is like deputy. But they said, no, they're going to two sous Sherpas, and the one has to be from the queer community to represent them. So I thought, well, okay, that's great. So anyway,
Yeah. Makes sense.
they did
Yeah.
that. But then we still had to go into all of the policies. So there were 14 different policies, and making sure that LGBT voices and let's be honest, I mean, LGBT people have very unique and separate challenges to what other people have. So we had to make sure that those challenges were acknowledged and that there were suggestions on how to solve those problems, So we did that. And I think we did the first draft on all of these policies. Then they said, all right, now we're going to do the second draft. And we went and we looked at the policy we had already done, and, we'd put stuff in. Now we were going to take it and do a second draft with it. And all of our LGBT stuff had been erased, just deleted.
Oh my
Poof,
gosh.
gone. I know.
Why?
We were so angry. So we
Yeah.
went back into all of these meetings and said, no, we need to be in there. And we argued with everybody and got ourselves put back in again. Thank goodness. And then we decided, no, hold on. It's just too easy to just erase us. So let's create the Q20, Queer 20, so that
Okay.
every year going forward, there is a working group that governments have to consult with. You see?
Yeah.
So we literally made history. You can't take it away. And
No.
I'm to be honest, I am so proud of the LGBT people that worked that we worked with, that worked so hard to get this done. We created our own declaration that we submitted to the C20, because like even the W20 and the Education 20, they all have to submit their own declarations to the C20. And then the C20 takes all of that and makes one C20 declaration. So anyway, we created this Q20, we created the declaration, we launched it at the C20 summit. Yeah, so it's been done. And going forward, like I said, that's the most important thing, is going forward, you're always going to have to ask the queers.
And
What's
this,
going? Yeah.
And this happened like just last month?
Yeah.
Fairly recently.
Yeah, we've
Wow.
only just finished the G20 now. We've only just finished it. Yeah,
And the
because
introduction of the
after the
Q20 just
C20,
happened.
once they make their declaration, which included us, and they listed all of the different working groups, and we were there right at the bottom, but we were there.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then they give that to the G20, which is then the president of South Africa was given that, and at the G Social Summit, that's where we went and we gave this to the president. The president himself said, "Thank you very much for making this, an inclusive policy, and for all the months you've been working." Look, he was speaking to hundreds of us, but but it was nice anyway. And he even
Yeah.
mentioned, oh, all of these, different groups like the the D20 and the Q20, and of course all the gays are going,
Yeah. Yeah.
the president said our name. So yeah, so it was fun, and it was exciting. Yeah, and we're just not thinking about next year
Right. Fair enough.
when it goes to Trump, because he's already said he won't accept our declaration and we're not invited to the G20 in America and what. So he's already
He's
Well,
done
such a
all of that.
whiny baby. Come
it's
on.
not forever. He's not
No,
forever.
well, I think that's what people like Trump forget is that, this is not our first time around the block. We are
Yeah.
used to fighting to exist.
Yeah. And yeah, it. I mean, I understand why Trump would say it because he's Trump, but for America to not have something like a Q20, I think is just
Yeah.
it won't happen. Like it will happen. America can't not because America, I think, historically, is always the first to kind of lead the way in
Have you been
things like
watching
that.
America lately?
I mean, I have. It's not in a good
Yeah.
state, but yeah.
Yeah, well, look, we'll see. However he reacts,
So
we will respond the way we respond. And the thing that we are encouraged about is that
right.
it is just America. Other countries are pretty much over it. They're
Yeah.
saying, listen, we're an independent country. We're not, we make our own rules for our own country and we'll do
Yes.
our own, and we want to be inclusive. So we're having a lot of countries saying that. For example, the UK, the activists that we spoke to said, listen, after America, the G20 comes to the UK. So whatever gets squashed in America will just revive.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's part of just fighting to be alive. But this is one of our wins. So we've made history. You can't take that away. You can ignore it. You can try and, break it down, whatever you're going to do. But at the end of the day, the history books
It
have
was
been
there.
written.
Yep.
So
It was
okay, just to
there.
clarify, it was yeah. So
Yeah.
Q20, a creation of South Africa, or more specifically, your group, very first to do it.
Yeah, exactly. The very first. So
I am
very.
honored.
Oh, the only thing is we're quite a raggedy bunch. No, we're not like these high people. We're just regular people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what
Well,
the world needs to see examples of that. Just
yeah.
everybody being able and capable, not having to come from any particular point of privilege to achieve something great that makes the world a better place.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be
Yeah.
honest with you, that is kind of my message that I really want to go away with is to be saying, listen, I come from a sort of a thing of I'm just a housewife. I don't have a degree. I'm not a lawyer. But it's just a case of look, I'm there. And
Yeah.
you can always learn what the laws are. You can always learn how to change them. You can always, that's the only way I've done it is sort of learning on the job and just going from strength to strength, but being supported by all the other activists and that as well around us. So I think just it's a case of what I've done, anybody can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's one foot
I
in
think
front of
that's
the other
yeah.
and you can do it.
Yeah. I think yeah. I mean, to put it bluntly, knowledge is free, more or less. It's only the idea that it isn't, and that stops people from even trying to learn because I think in the past, at least for me, maybe in my generation growing up, it was that you have to go to school, for example. You have to pay for knowledge, but nothing stops a person from, especially nowadays with the internet, let's say, but nothing stops a person from going into the library and opening a book or talking to people who had the privilege of going to education. A friend of mine growing up, their family were very wealthy, and just because of the success of that person's father, who explained to us, all he did was when he was young, he just went to the library and he learned. And then he, grew this like incredible business, and they were just such a really successful family. Again, yeah, anyone can do it. It's just a question of knowing the only person that might be getting in your way is yourself.
100%,
Yeah.
And I think this does come back to what Ray was saying about resilience. You come against these things that bring you down, and sometimes one of those things is yourself and your lack of confidence, you know.
Yeah.
And if you can just put yourself in a place of, look, I'm just going to try this, and then just not give up. For example, when we started, okay, we'd made this decision in my lounge that we were going to start this organization, okay, and so all we did was put an ad in the newspaper that we were going to have this support group. And we spoke to the library and asked them if we could use one of their rooms. And then every month we went to the library and we took coffee and tea and muffins, and nobody came. Nobody came.
Right. Yeah.
And the next month was the same. So we were giving out our muffins to, the homeless people in the street and the security guard. And so they liked us very much. And my partner even said, what are we even doing this for? Like, nobody's coming. We must just give it up.
People were coming,
No.
but the security guards were stopping them because they wanted the muffins.
They wanted the muffins.
Yeah, they were beating off the gays. Go, it's our
That might have been
muffin.
it, eh?
Yeah, no, but so we just continued. And eventually people started dribbling in, little bit by little bit. And we grew from strength to strength. So yeah, it's a case of, yeah, it is a tough road to go, but you learn on the way. I mean, and there's so many more people more qualified than you, but they might be more qualified, but they also either don't have the time, or that's not their focus for their life, or what
Yeah.
have you. You're filling a gap that other people are not. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
And
case of just going, even though you don't have the confidence or the skills, just do it anyway.
it's like my
Be like
dating life.
Nike. Just do it.
Ruby, we've mentioned something like this before, haven't we? It sounds so familiar. We've talked about this. Remind me.
Just do the things that you want to do. Definitely. It's a topic that often permeates the conversations I'm in, but I don't remember anything particular right now.
I think
Yeah,
just like,
it's something that I've told my kids because they're like, well, they're like everybody else, I mean, everybody has something they don't like about the world around them, this life's not fair, whatever, but then change it. Change it. If you
yeah,
don't
Yeah.
like it, change it. And that takes hard work. And yeah, so, but it is at least something you can do.
right.
And I think also the thing is also don't be too comfortable. Don't be too comfortable. Don't take things for granted.
Yeah. Always good advice. Definitely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think we
for
said in the,
example, yeah.
go ahead.
No,
You
in
first.
South Africa, we've had marriage equality since 2006. Okay. Thank you to the lesbians.
Thank you, lesbian.
Yeah, no, that's a funny story. The lesbian, there was a lesbian couple, and they wanted to adopt these kids. They weren't allowed. And so they said, no. They're going to go to court first to adopt the kids and worry about getting married later. So lesbians were, and gay couples were allowed to adopt kids from
Oh, really?
2005. Yeah, they were allowed to adopt kids first before they got married. Then
That's
in
so interesting.
2006, we were
Yeah.
allowed to get married, actually get married.
It was probably happening, and the government was thinking, we look really silly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
so so we've had that, and you know what, we could be really comfortable and say, yeah, that's great. But guess where I was yesterday? Guess where I was? I was sitting in front of Parliament online like this though,
Okay.
and they're looking at the marriage bill. And at the moment, South Africa has 3 marriage laws: one for heterosexuals, one civil union for same-sex couples, and then one for traditional and religious marriages. And
Interesting.
they all have different
Rules.
laws and whatnot, and they're not
Privileges? Yeah.
they're not the
Yeah.
same. So they've
Right.
decided, okay, now they're going to have one law, but first they have to have a public hearing, you see,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
see what the
Yeah.
public think. Well, of course, so all of the religious nuts are out there. We can't have the gays getting married. So
Of course.
yeah, we're responsible apparently for a lot of things. Like there's a 5% drop in marriages across the world. Clearly, that's because the gays have been allowed to get
Yeah.
married.
That has nothing to do with economy. No, not at all.
So okay, jokes aside, there are real people that are well funded and well connected
Yes.
and are very keen to get rid of the rights of LGBT community in general.
Yeah.
So it is so important for us to be in those spaces where we say, okay, we've got this law, and
Mhm.
this new law that they're speaking about introducing is inclusive of everybody. It's really good, you know. But
Yeah.
unless we have people standing up and saying, no, this is a good law, then all the government is going to hear is how terrible a law is, how we can't have gays getting married, how we can't have this, how we
Yeah.
can't have.
It's a really good point.
So, yeah. So, although we've had marriage equality for like 20 years,
Mhm.
you know, we can't ever take that for granted. So, yeah. So that's what we've been doing as well.
Yeah. You make a
It
really
does
good
need to
point.
be simplified. Like
Mm?
when
Mm.
actually was aware of the fact that you were in parliament because I was speaking to another person who was also in parliament,
Who?
Leanne.
Oh, Leanne.
Yeah,
Oh, she's one of my favorite people.
she's amazing. I
Yeah.
had the privilege of meeting her when I was in South Africa, and I'd like to think that we've become somewhat friendly. And I asked for her help because I'm not able to get a hold of DHA to find out if my changes have been affected and if I can apply for a new birth certificate and what my new ID number is, because I'm in China. And I tried to call, I was on hold for 12 minutes and I got a 300 Rand bill. That's 150 RMB for Luigi, and it's about
Thanks for putting it in
$30,
perspective.
$40 for Americans for being on hold for
No, less than
12
that.
minutes.
Yeah.
Not even. 25.
Oh, sorry,
25 American dollars.
$15. $15, yeah.
Yeah. Not that much for an American, but still.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, I was like, Leanne, please help me. Please, can you check? And she said, I will, but on Thursday because I'm in Parliament now.
You
Okay.
know a lot of
Yeah.
important people.
That girl is everywhere and she knows
She is
everything and she's
busy.
got the skinner down on everybody. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
She's on fire. Like, I'm scared of her. She's a
Yeah,
force to be reckoned with for sure.
she is. She is. And yet she's got a heart of gold, hey? She really
Absolutely.
has. I mean,
Yeah.
and integrity like you won't believe. Such integrity. I've got so much time for her, honestly. And she's
Yeah,
such a good advocate for trans and gender rights. Yeah.
absolutely. Luigi, hopefully you get a chance to meet her as well. As
Is she
I
coming
as
on
I make the
on the
rounds in
podcast?
South Africa.
I like it.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I like doing the circuit. It's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We had a lovely conversation with a man, Chase King, in Cape Town, who started
Yeah.
a different sphere, but again within that context of we need everything.
Yeah.
He started this expressly LGBTQIA plus inclusive hostel in Cape Town called Soul Fam Hostel.
Wonderful. That is so needed.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of hostels are diverse, but they're not inclusive. And this one is, I had the privilege of staying there when I was in Cape Town. So, dear listeners, if you are traveling to South Africa, please do go to Cape Town.
Yeah.
That's also where the Cape Town mafia is, isn't it? They're the number one like antagonists to our rights in the country.
That's
Okay. Who exactly are you
disconcerting.
talking about?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm speaking from rumor here. Ethereally, I have heard of the Cape Town mafia, quote unquote, a conservative think tank that is hell bent on demolishing trans and or LGBT rights in South Africa.
Well, we've seen it very much where it comes to education. The education side, we got, like I told you, we were trying to get the National Department of Education to do something. So what they did do, because to be honest, they're on the sides of LGBT people, because
Yeah.
in South Africa, we have the laws that say you're not allowed to discriminate. And then kids go to school and then they get either bullied or discriminated against by the teachers. So then the Department of Education gets sued. And the Department of Education
Right.
comes short every time because it's clear the child's been discriminated against, and so therefore they have to pay the fines. And so they're not happy about that, obviously. So yes,
Right.
they're wanting things like SOGIESI education in schools. So we worked together for about 2 years on a sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? But like a book on SOGIESI issues for schools. And it was done. It was passed. The heads of department had all passed it, everything. They went to every province. The Department of Education went to every province and did training on it. And once everything was done, they were just about to put it into place when, as you say, the Cape Town Mafia came into place and said, no, they feel that they don't feel like we've had enough, what was it, consultation. There wasn't enough consultation, so they didn't want it. And we, me and Leanne and a number of people jumped up and down and lost our minds a little bit and said, how can one province
Yeah.
hold the rest of us to ransom? If we are a democracy, surely the other, I think we have 9 provinces. Geez, I should know this. But
9
but
provinces.
I think we have 9 provinces,
We
and
do.
and we do, and only one said no, and so now it's been put back in the box, and everybody's quiet about it. So we're still trying to get that out again. But yeah, at the moment it's a uphill battle. But it's there, it's created, it's done. We just need to get it into the hands of the schools. But yes, so we have somebody in Cape Town just causing nonsense.
Yes. And well, I don't let's not name names today because I do feel there are certain public figures around the world that are the loudest voices and they should really just
Certainly.
sometimes just
Well,
hush.
unfortunately, if you tell a lie often enough, it sounds true. I won't say it
Yeah.
becomes true because it never becomes true, but people begin to believe it. So this is why as well it is so important for us to just speak out so that you don't only hear these negative voices. It's
Yeah,
important us to speak, and it doesn't mean you have to know everything. Even if you don't know anything, then just speak out anyway, even if it's
Exactly.
just from your heart, and that you must just speak out.
One of the reasons I'm hesitant to name the people that I know are loud voices is because naming them platforms them. It makes other people go there, and it makes the algorithm push their names higher into the societal sphere of knowledge. And I just
Exactly.
think that for the most part, they should be entirely
also, yeah,
ignored, mentioned in passing.
right. That's good
Yes,
advice.
I agree. Yeah, I do agree on that.
Luigi, what's your perspective for tonight or question that you want to delve into?
Yeah, I wanna delve into, well, let's talk about hate speech because I'm curious what Kim can teach us about it and how it, well, like, operates in what she does. Because, yeah, how does hate speech manifest in antagonizing your I won't say journey, but your goal and what you want to set out to do? Because when I think of hate speech, I think of just like outright vitriolic language to people that's like violent and aggressive. But I think maybe it's more finessed. And I'm just wondering, Kim, if you can define it for us, or tell us, like, how do we know it? How do we recognize it? How do we stop it?
Yeah. So that was one of the things that we did is we actually wrote the hate crime legislation that we advocated for. And
Yeah.
so in that legislation, you have to actually define what constitutes hate speech. So the way we defined it was that it had to be hateful towards a group. All right. So I could say, oh, I hate Joe Soap, but I can't say I hate Joe Soap because he's gay, and all gays are
Okay. Yeah.
rubbish and what have you. So
Sure.
that, but then also to go even further and say it must be against a group and it must create harm or incite harm and encourage other people to be harmful towards a particular group. So that's how we've defined it. So what I've found is that a lot of people still come to us and say, this and this happened and this is hate speech, and we must
Right.
sort of get them, kind of thing. And yeah, many, many times we have to say, just calm down. That actually doesn't legally, it doesn't meet that standard. It might be
Mhm.
hateful, it might be offensive, it might be
Yeah.
hurtful, it might be whatever, it might be horrible, but it has to be raised to the sort of height of being a crime as well. So
Okay.
so officially for us, it has to also do that. I can give an
Yeah.
example.
For example, may I try?
Yeah.
If I were to say group X are all stupid and they don't know what they're doing as a demographic of an entire country or society, that technically isn't hate speech. But if I said group X should be banned from society and beaten whenever possible, that would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So that is pretty much it. We've just had an example that we're working with now. So let's do what you say. Let's not give more airtime to the actual name. But this person said that gays were to be killed, and then they have a fairly big following. So their followers online were like, yeah, we got the guns, we got everything. Come on, let's go. He then took a mob, literally, from Durban to Joburg, where he tried to get the gays over there. And yeah, the police were called in and what. Then he came back to Durban and continued with saying all these horrible things that he was saying. And literally it had a negative effect on LGBT people here. People were thrown off
Yeah.
public transport. A person
Wow.
was stabbed. A transgender woman was stabbed because
Terrible.
this person's, yeah, the perpetrator was like, no,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to be here. And then he even went on to stab the family because the family was allowing their transgender child to stay at their house.
That
So it really went into a thing. So we've actually now taken him to court, the quality court on this whole thing, and we're charging him with hate speech. And
Wow.
yeah, he really is a sort of perfect case if you want to describe hate speech, because
Right.
this is hate speech results in violence. Hate speech results in harm. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. And then to go on your next thing, because you said, and how do we stop that? Well, first of all, prevention is a different thing altogether, because now
Right.
prevention means that now we're looking at ways to stop the behavior, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So legislation is one of the first ways you can do it, because without legislation, how you going to know? I mean, we all
Mm-hmm.
know technically, sort of, but when it comes down to research and that, there's no, like currently, there's no data, and you can't collect data because it's not documented. Whereas now that we
Yeah.
have hate speech and hate crime as a law, now it can be documented. Now we can say, all right, there's 100 cases of hate speech. And why was there this? It was there because of maybe it was a religious group or something. So then we would go to churches and try and educate them and get them on board, to at least say the simplest thing like, please don't kill gay people.
Right.
You would think that churches would want to say, please don't kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. And then in schools, it's easier to teach in schools to say, listen, guys, if you don't want to end up in jail, you know, don't break the law. And this is one of the
Right. Yeah.
laws you're not allowed to break. So,
Right.
so yeah. So prevention comes down to education and just awareness. Yeah. One of the things I like to ask politicians is to do things like, like we did with AIDS. With AIDS, we put posters everywhere,
Yeah. Right.
There were billboards on the freeway. There were adverts on the TV. All these
Yeah. True.
public service announcements were just plastered everywhere you can think of. And that's what we need to do with LGBT rights as well. We need to be saying, listen, gays are allowed to get married. So don't complain if you see them get dating.
Yeah.
Transgender people are allowed to transition. So don't complain if you see a transgender person.
there's a high chance that what you think is a transgender person isn't actually a transgender person.
Exactly. Exactly. No, stop stereotyping people. Yeah,
Right.
that's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many we could put out there. And
This
I
is why
do
we need
believe,
flags.
yeah, I do believe it would help, but yeah, it won't always, because if a person is hateful and they're just looking for a reason to hate, haters gonna hate. It's just the way it is.
True. Truer words. But I suppose, it sounds like the law is pretty good in protecting the people. I mean, the laws are set up, and all that can happen is that people become aware of these laws, and maybe that will incentivize them from doing anything really bad, as
South
opposed to
Africa
a
has a
place where there aren't any
Well,
laws made. So Can you stop that?
South Africa has a
Well,
really incredible Sorry, you carry on. Okay, I was just gonna say South Africa has an incredible constitution and a lot of really good laws. The part where we struggle is application.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
I guess so. But that to me, that just doesn't. It's a paradox to me. It doesn't make sense because you have all these laws, really good laws, but the applications. So why? Why is that?
It's
You two can
governmental
answer this.
It's
But
because
incompetence.
of the homophobia.
yeah,
Sorry,
Sorry,
Kim, you
say,
go.
Ray?
I think that we struggle with application because of corruption and incompetence. That's all. Once those problems are solved, almost all of South Africa's problems disappear.
yeah,
Yeah. No, but I also think it is homophobia and transphobia and that because we can go and educate people. Like, for example, we went and I did a sensitization on this one police station that was known for being homophobic. And
wow,
the thing is, not only did we give them sensitization, all right, there's also a protocol that all police and all police stations are supposed to follow. It's called the Standard Operating Procedures, okay?
right, yeah,
And they have special standard operating procedures for LGBT people. And that's not even coming from an activist. That is the police themselves have standard operating procedures. The problem is police on the ground either don't know they're there or they don't care that they're there. But
yeah,
that certainly was the case there where we went there, we did, what's his name, with them. So we had trained them essentially. And then it was about, I think 6 months to a year later, we had a case of someone going there and being treated horribly, quite humiliating, and it turned out then they didn't want to open a case at all and they walked out, and thank goodness they phoned me and they told me this darn, police station, they won't open my case. These are the terrible things they've said to me. And I was like, just wait there. And I got in my car, drove over there. And yeah, I just walked in and said, okay, can I speak to your station commander? And then you see all of the police like, pardon?
wow,
Why do you want to speak to him? And then, yeah. And then once I started talking, because obviously I didn't go there as little old me. I went there as like, I'm the chair of the hate crimes working group. We document hate crimes. We believe we have a victim here that's trying to open a case. And like, what is the
right,
problem? You know?
yeah,
And then they're like,
yeah,
but we didn't know. And I'm like, okay, so here's the poster that you have on your wall.
wow,
Why aren't you following those steps? They're on the wall.
yeah,
You put them there. I didn't even put them there. And what about your standard operating procedures? They say boom, 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 boom. And then you see, oh, okay. So tell us, what's your name? How can we help? And suddenly we had, well, 4 policemen on the case. And then later, can't remember how long later, but I was quite impressed. They were really quick. I think it was about 8 months or something. And they'd caught somebody, been identified by the victim and, yeah, put through the court system and put in jail. So I was impressed. They did a jolly good job.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately,
That's
I
a
can't
really
go to
good
every.
story.
yeah. That was all
Unfortunately, I
you,
can't
Kim.
go to every jolly police station and put some firework under their bum.
Yeah. But maybe I don't know, maybe what you did, maybe someone will find. I mean, we're finding out about this from you, but surely someone has heard that story because of you, and maybe they will do the same. So, I mean, I feel like you are having a
Now a
pretty
lot more people are
amazing
gonna
effect.
hear it.
There
Well,
you
yeah, of
go.
course.
There you go. And you see, the thing is, a lot more people are able to do exactly that same thing. You don't need
Yeah,
a degree to do what I did. You just
right.
go in there and Yeah. This is all I do is with all the LGBT people that come through me, I'm saying to them, right, guys, these are your rights. And they're like, yeah, but the
Yeah.
police won't listen. I'm like, okay, so these are their responsibilities.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a case of knowing your rights and just getting that information out there.
We need a uh, this is a really interesting conversation for me. I'd like to share something that I'm doing through Be True to Me, the transgender nonprofit organization focused on transgender folk in South Africa. Have a support group online, and I'm in that group. Through that group, I have met a couple of trans women, which is really just a big relief for me. Since meeting these women, with one of them, I am entering into business with. We will start selling LGBTQIA plus jewelry, hopefully in February in South Africa. Um,
Really?
Thank you. We're busy building the catalog. Moving on. We have also I started my own Discord server, which is supposed to function as an inclusive online space that is adult friendly, sex positive, and trans focused. So this is a kind of a opaque group. It's closed, right? It's got a specific audience. But through establishing that, I met another Discord server, which is trans focused and information based and open to all. And I started talking to that trans woman who has been running that server for quite a while. And we have since become sister servers with different purposes and slightly different audiences. We would like to grow. So we started another platform which is meant to be community run online space for the, again, trans focus, but open to all, providing information because it's hard to find sometimes. You need you need an active group of people contributing socially to create a space that is open for newcomers to say, "Hey, I need help." It's daunting to go to a nonprofit organization from the start, right? So anyway,
Oh,
we have this third platform which is meant to serve as a filter and information page. And if you would share it to me, I would love to put the posters and the standard operating procedures for police and all of that on there and provide guidance for more people.
make it into
Yeah.
jewelry, Ruby.
Sorry?
Make it into
Segue?
jewelry.
You want the jewelry
You
I
want the
want
jewelry?
want
Yeah.
you to make
A
those
necklace?
operating standards as jewelry.
as jewelry?
One standard, one necklace.
One standard, one.
That'd be
There
pretty
you
cool.
go.
That's a great idea, I think.
I
I
think
hope
so.
everyone in South Africa knows their
Yeah.
rights.
Yeah. So there's a whole range of right now focused on coming out, proud parent, transgender, gay, and lesbian are the focus for now. And later we will expand to be more more sexualities, more identities, and also more allies.
And when you're talking about coming out, please remember that it's not safe for some people to come
Of
out.
Yes,
course. Yeah.
Literally,
definitely.
literally, it can be
Yeah,
life-threatening. So,
yeah.
so just bear that in mind as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God, like, I think it's really important. A couple of times when I was thinking about coming out, I would read online, not everyone, but some of the guides will say, look, if it's not safe for you, do not come out. Don't.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
safety first
absolutely.
is the most important thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's plenty of time to come out. You got the rest of your life, you know, and just choose it at a time in your life where you're safe, you're
Yeah.
self-sufficient, you got a
Mhm.
job, you got a roof over your head, you know, you're there. When you are self-sufficient, then come out if that's, you know, your safest time. Because then if people reject you or, you know, it's kind of fine. It's not nice, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You just don't
Some
want to be in
people
a
are not worth
position.
coming out.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
sometimes you don't want to be in a financially dependent on somebody, and then when you come out to them, they're like, okay, well now I'm going to withdraw that
Yeah.
financial support, you know. So
Yeah.
and that is really not fun.
Definitely. On that, I think we should wrap up today. Kim, it's been fantastic speaking to you. Thank you so much for your time out of your busy schedule, juggling all of the things that you are juggling to speak to little old us online.
Yeah, no, it's
Yes.
been an absolute
Agree.
pleasure. And lovely to meet you, Luigi. This is the first time
Likewise.
I met you, so it's been lovely chatting with you virtually. And yeah, Ray, we've chatted quite a lot, so it's nice to see you again. Always a pleasure.
We'll keep chatting for sure, I think. If you ever want to come back, please do. And where can I send people that want to contribute to Same Love Toti?
Well, we're available online, so you can go to either well, it's not called Twitter anymore. Our X page. You can go to Instagram. I think we're most of the time we're on Instagram and Facebook, or my personal page as well. But yeah, so anyone who wants to help us to further this work, because yeah, certain people who shall remain nameless have caused there to be a lack of funding, I think globally, but specifically in South Africa. So yeah, so we're always happy for any form of support that people can offer.
Thank you. Kaleidoscope will also be reaching out in that capacity. If you want to find Same Love Toti, you can find them on Facebook at Same Love TOTI or Instagram at the same handle. You can find me, Rae Liu, at Fire from Heat or TikTok at Heat from Fire. And you can find Kaleidoscope on YouTube at Echo Perspectives. You can find Luigi wherever you can find Kaleidoscope.
Living in a drawer.
I take him out when I need him.
That's right. Ruby takes me out for every podcast.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.